Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. In today's video, we confront one of the most emotionally charged moments a man can experience in modern relationships: how to respond when she reaches out after silence. Whether it's after weeks, months, or even years of no contact, that one message, "Hey, how have you been?" can awaken a storm inside a man. Memories flood back, doubts creep in, old wounds ache, and the question looms large. Should you respond? What should you say? Do you show interest, strength, indifference, or wisdom? This moment isn't just about relationships. It's about your growth, your self-respect, and your emotional discipline. How you respond, or if you respond, can either reinforce your masculine center or drag you back into a cycle you worked hard to escape. Through the lens of history, real-world relationship dynamics, and the core of Stoic masculine presence, this video will guide you with powerful emotional intelligence, tactical advice, and unshakable perspective. We're not here to play games. We're here to reclaim clarity, honor, and direction as men. So if you've ever asked yourself, what does it mean when she reaches out after silence? Or, how do I handle it without losing myself? This is the video you've been waiting for. Before we dive into the chapters, take a moment to support this brotherhood of grounded, conscious men. Like the video if you're ready to master your emotional power. Subscribe if you refuse to live unconsciously like the masses. Share this with a man who's at a crossroads in his relationship. And comment below after you let us know where you are in your journey. Now let's get into chapter 1, because the moment she reaches out isn't just about her, it's about you. Chapter 1. The Psychology of Silence. What her message really means. There's a reason silence is feared by many. It's ambiguous, uncomfortable, and deeply revealing. When a woman breaks that silence after disappearing, the message is rarely as simple as the words on the screen. Let's start by understanding the psychology behind her return, because what appears as a casual "hey" is often the surface of a much deeper emotional current, one that speaks to uncertainty, curiosity, or even regret. But before decoding her intention, we must understand something far more important: why it matters how you respond. When a man lacks emotional control, he sees her message as a lifeline, but when a man is rooted in stoic presence, he sees it for what it is, an opportunity to choose his standard. And that is the foundation of emotional power. You choose, you do not chase. In ancient Rome, the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius was known not only for his philosophical mind, but also for his disciplined detachment. Letters were often sent to him from allies, enemies, and even past companions. Yet he was known for replying only when the message aligned with duty, truth, or virtue. He never allowed his ego to be swayed by flattery or nostalgia. In one famous example recorded in secondary Roman accounts, a former ally who had betrayed him years before attempted reconciliation through a long apologetic letter. Marcus did not respond immediately or emotionally. He weighed the man's past, his present character, and his own responsibilities as emperor before writing a single word. This wasn't coldness, it was clarity. And that's how we must approach emotional re-entry in our own lives. Her message isn't about you, it's about her. This is a hard truth, but an empowering one. When she reaches out after silence, it's not necessarily because she misses you. It could mean her other options fell through. She's feeling lonely or nostalgic. She's seeking validation, comfort, or closure. Or she's genuinely realizing your value. But even then, you must not jump to conclusions. When a man is emotionally reactive, he projects meaning onto her message. When a man is emotionally intelligent, he discerns the meaning of her actions, not just her words. This is why your first response must be internal, not external. Before you write anything back, sit in silence and ask yourself, what do I feel when I see this message? Do I feel joy, pain, resentment, Hope? Am I grounded right now, or am I starving for connection? Until you know where you stand, you're not in a position to reply from strength, only from survival. Emotional intelligence begins with space, space between stimulus and response, space between emotion and action, space between her message and your decision. This space is where a man reclaims his authority. Too many men rush in with, "Hey, been a while. OMG, I missed you." Or worse, angry, emotional outbursts. Each one of these reactions hands over your frame. You've given her the reins. But what if you paused? What if, like Marcus Aurelius, you didn't respond immediately but reflected instead? In that pause, you signal to the universe and to yourself, "I am not desperate, I am discerning." Silence becomes not a weakness but a tool of power. Your value was never in her hands. When she left or fell silent, you may have questioned your worth. Now that she's back, you may be tempted to reclaim it through her attention. But brother, listen closely. Your value was never in her hands. It was always in how you carried yourself when she was gone. If you built yourself in her absence, mentally, physically, spiritually, you've already won. If you became more centered, more disciplined, more self-loving, she's not messaging the same man she left. And this is the test. Will you act like the old version of you or the new one? Real-world scenario. The man who waited. 48 hours. A member of our Stoic Golden Tribe once shared this story. His ex reached out after 6 months of no contact. The old him would have replied in 10 seconds, flooding her inbox with emotion. But this time, he waited. 48 hours, he meditated, he journaled, he went for long walks, he made love to his mission. When he did reply, it wasn't needy or nostalgic, it was measured, curious, and clear. "Hey, I got your message. What made you reach out now?" That one question shifted the dynamic. She confessed she'd been comparing every man since to him, and none measured up. But he wasn't trying to impress her. He was gathering information. He had the frame. Whether they rekindled or not didn't matter, because he wasn't trying to win her back. He was living in alignment with himself. Chapter 1. Core Teachings. Her message is not the full story, it's the surface of a deeper emotional motive. Don't assign meaning too quickly. Reflect, don't react. Emotional power begins with space. Let your silence speak before your words do. Your value is not confirmed by her return. It is revealed by how you respond. Drop a comment below. Power over impulse. Chapter 2. Strategic response holding frame. Without closing the heart. So she's reached out. You've paused, you've reflected. You didn't react, you reclaimed your emotional ground. Now what? This is where many men lose the frame. They either respond with excessive enthusiasm, desperate to rekindle, or swing to the other extreme, cold, dismissive, guarded. But the real power lies in the middle path. The ability to respond with strength while remaining open, calculated, and centered. This chapter is your strategic blueprint for responding with both clarity and calm power, so you don't lose yourself to the emotions of the moment. Understanding. Frame. Your inner throne. Let's start with the concept of frame. Your frame is your internal world, your belief, values, boundaries, and emotional center. When a woman reaches out, she's stepping into your world, not the other way around. Too many men abandon their frame to win her back. They try to say the right thing. They tiptoe around her feelings. They base their tone on her energy. But a high-value man communicates from his frame, not hers. Responding isn't about winning her approval. It's about staying true to your standard. Your tone doesn't need to be icy or aloof. It needs to be deliberate, measured, masculine. A lesson from Alexander the Great. Let's turn to one of the most dominant figures in world history, Alexander the Great. When Persia's King Darius sent him a peace offer during their conflict, offering lands, gold, and even marriage to his daughter, Alexander didn't accept it blindly. He didn't react with joy or anger. He paused, considered, and responded with a message of both dominance and clarity. "All that you offer I already possess by right of conquest, but send me your daughter if you wish her to marry a king." That response wasn't arrogant. It was grounded in identity. Alexander didn't chase validation. He replied from a place of known worth. That's the frame. And that's what you must carry into your response. How to respond. The 3 tiers of strategy. When deciding how to respond, your strategy depends on why she disappeared and who you've become since. Let's break it down into 3 response tiers. Tier 1. The exploratory response. Use this if you're genuinely open to conversation, but without investment. Example: "Hey, I wasn't expecting to hear from you. What made you reach out?" This keeps the tone neutral, curious, and non-needy. It signals self-respect while inviting clarity. You're not giving her instant comfort. You're inviting her to reveal intent. That's power. Tier 2, the measured boundary. Use this if the silence followed disrespect, betrayal, or emotional chaos. Example: "I've moved forward with clarity in my life. What exactly are you looking for in reaching out?" This is calm, not cruel. You're not closing the door, but you're not leaving it wide open either. This tier keeps your standards high. You're asking her to meet you at your new level, not return to the past. Tier 3. The silent decline. Use this when her re-entry violates your peace, or when you've fully moved on. In this case, your most powerful response is no response at all, not out of anger, not out of spite, but because you've grown to a place where her presence is no longer part of your inner architecture. Silence isn't weakness, it's the final word of a man who's already made peace. Avoid these 3 common mistakes. 1. Over-explaining. Never write her a paragraph detailing how much you've changed or how you've been waiting. If she's truly curious, she'll invest the effort to find out. 2. Rehashing the past. Avoid the trap of turning her message into a history debate. Don't relive old wounds. If she's sincere, she'll speak with accountability, not nostalgia. 3. Overcorrecting. Some men try so hard to stay in frame that they come off robotic or heartless. You're not trying to be a stone, you're trying to be a balanced mountain, solid, centered, but alive. The power of gracious detachment. Maybe deep down you want her back. Maybe you've healed enough to consider reconnecting. But understand this: if your peace depends on her reply, you are not free. Real masculine strength is found in gracious detachment. The ability to let people return, speak, or even apologize without needing them to stay. You're not punishing her. You're simply standing in a place where your self-worth doesn't depend on her reaction. One man from our tribe shared this. After 8 months of no contact, his ex reached out. She said she missed him. She said she made a mistake. The old version of him would have melted. He still loved her. But he had rebuilt himself. Physically, spiritually, emotionally. He wrote a single sentence. "I appreciate your message. I wish you peace, but I'm not looking to reopen that chapter." She replied with tears, regret, offers to talk. He didn't engage further, not out of bitterness, but because he was finally living from truth, not hope. And that's when he felt truly free. Chapter 2: Core Teachings. Your frame is your inner leadership. Don't abandon it to win her back. Respond strategically, but not reactively. Your tone must reflect your standard, not your emotions. Gracious detachment is stronger than bitterness. You don't need to be cold, you need to be clear. Silence, when grounded in peace, is a complete response. Drop a comment below. I lead, I don't chase. Chapter 3: The Hidden Tests. Why her reach out isn't the end, it's the beginning. Most men think the story ends when she messages you. But that message is just the beginning. Her reaching out isn't always a sign of commitment, apology, or clarity. In many cases, it's a test, conscious or unconscious, to see where you stand, what you've become, whether she can still influence your emotions. This chapter is your guide to understanding and passing the tests that come after the message, the subtle traps, the emotional games, and the spiritual lessons hidden in her return. Because if you're not ready, you'll fall for the illusion of reconnection and wake up back in the same emotional maze you once escaped. Why women test? It's not cruelty, it's instinct. Understand this. A woman tests not because she's cruel, but because she's wired to seek emotional truth. She doesn't want to consciously test you, but on a deeper, feminine level, she needs to know. Are you the same man she left? Can you handle her emotions without collapsing? Are you truly grounded or just pretending? These tests aren't always verbal. They often come through subtext, inconsistencies, or emotional bait, all designed to see if you'll lose yourself. Common tests after silence. 1. Mixed signals. She's warm one day, cold the next. She initiates, then withdraws. This isn't always manipulation. Sometimes it's confusion. But your job isn't to fix her confusion, it's to stay clear in your direction. Failing response. You said you missed me yesterday, now you're distant. What's going on? Powerful response. I value consistency. If you're unsure, take time to find clarity. I'm not here to convince you. You've just passed the test. You chose self-respect over emotional tug-of-war. 2. Jealousy. Game. She brings up another man, casually mentions dating. This is to see if she still has emotional control over you. Failing response. Getting upset, asking questions, trying to prove you're better. Powerful response. That's your path. I wish you well either way. Calm. Neutral. Centered. A mountain, not a volcano. 3. Sudden intimacy. She comes on strong, emotionally or physically. She may want closeness, but not commitment. This is where many men fall. They mistake intimacy for reconciliation. Failing response. I knew we still had something. Powerful response. This moment is nice, but I only open my heart where there's clarity and intention. She'll either rise to meet your standard or disappear again. Either way, you win, because you held the frame. Let's look to the ancient Greek hero Odysseus. After years of war and wandering, he finally returned home to his wife, Penelope. But he didn't rush into her arms. Instead, he came disguised, observing quietly to see if she had remained loyal. He tested the waters. He watched her actions. He verified her words. Only after confirming her heart and intention did he reveal himself. Why? Because even heroes can be deceived by desire. Odysseus knew the cost of false hope. He wasn't looking for fantasy, he was looking for truth. And so should you. A man must seek truth even when it conflicts with his feelings. Ask yourself, am I seeing her clearly, or through the lens of my longing? Do I want her back? Or do I just want to stop feeling this way? Am I strong enough to walk away if the energy doesn't match? This is what separates boys who chase comfort from men who embody clarity. Love without boundaries becomes slavery, but love with standards becomes sacred. The strongest men aren't the ones who feel nothing, they're the ones who feel everything and still choose discipline. So when she returns, don't suppress your emotions. Observe them. Don't lash out. Slow down. Don't confuse attention for alignment. This isn't about winning her back. It's about winning yourself back and letting her prove whether she deserves a place in that new life. One man in our community received a message from a woman who ghosted him a year ago. She said she missed him and wanted to reconnect. Instead of jumping in, he said, "I'm open to talking, but I need to understand why you disappeared and what's changed since then." She avoided the question, tried to pivot, flirted. He didn't bite. He repeated, "I'm not looking for entertainment, I'm looking for growth. If you're not in that place, I understand." She never replied again. He didn't chase. And a week later, he met someone whose presence matched his growth, because he passed the test. and the universe rewarded him. Chapter 3. Core Teachings. Her message is the beginning, not the conclusion. Don't let emotion blind you. Women test emotional strength naturally. Your calm, not your charm, earns respect. Pass the tests by remaining clear, consistent, and rooted in your boundaries. Don't confuse intimacy with intention. Watch what she does, not just what she says. Love with your eyes open. Trust but verify. Drop a comment below. Clarity over craving. Chapter 4. The Ultimate Decision. Move forward. With or without her, you've now stood your ground. You've responded with strength, held your emotional frame, and passed the tests that most men fail. And now the final question arises. Do you let her back it, or do you walk away? This isn't just a romantic decision, it's a spiritual crossroad, because how you move forward from this moment reflects who you truly are now, not who you were when she left, not who she remembers, but the man you've become in her absence. This chapter will guide you through the deepest level of discernment, how to choose the path of highest value, whether that means reconnection or ultimate release. Feelings are real, but they're not final. Emotions rise and fall like waves. Standards are the shoreline. You may still love her. You may miss her laugh, her scent, her softness. But those memories are not enough to sustain a future. The new you is not available for the old story. Ask yourself, can she meet me where I am now? Does she reflect the values I live by today? Or am I just entertaining the ghost of who we used to be? A man of depth must be brave enough to turn away from comfort in order to walk toward alignment. Let's visit the biblical King Solomon, known for his profound wisdom. Two women came to him, both claiming to be the mother of the same child. Unable to prove who was lying, Solomon made a chilling proposal. He would divide the child in two and give each woman half. One woman agreed. The other cried out, "No, let her have the child, just let him live." Solomon smiled. "You are the true mother." Because true love is revealed not by possession, but by sacrifice. Likewise, sometimes the most powerful love you can offer is the one you release. Detachment does not mean you feel nothing. It means you are not ruled by what you feel. It's saying, I love her, but I love my peace more. I desire her, but I desire alignment more. If she returns and proves with action, consistency, and honor that she deserves a place in your life, receive her, but from conscious choice, not emotional craving. And if she returns only to confuse, distract, or relive the past, let her go with compassion, but without compromise. That's detachment, that's power, that's manhood. Reconnection, if you choose it, lead it. If you choose to open the door again, understand this, you must lead it. Rebuilding connection is not about falling back into old patterns. It's about establishing new terms, new communication, new depth. That means having the hard conversations, setting clear boundaries, defining shared direction and values. You're not restarting where you left off. You're beginning something new. And if she can't meet that standard, then the reconnection ends where your leadership begins. Signs she's worth rebuilding. Consider giving the connection another chance only if 1. She takes full accountability without blaming or deflecting. 2. She aligns with your values and mission, not just your emotions. 3. She matches your effort and investment consistently. 4. She respects the man you've become, not just the boy you were. And most importantly, she must inspire peace, not confusion. If you walk away, walk with grace, not ego. Choosing to walk away doesn't make you cold. It means you understand the value of your heart. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need closure from her. You create your own. You don't need to be bitter, because you've already won. You are no longer who she left. You are now who she cannot shake. You loved deeply. You responded wisely. You stood tall, and now you choose your future with intention. One of our Stoic Golden Tribe members faced this decision. His ex came back after a year, but this time he didn't just fall into old patterns. He told her, "If we're going to build something, it has to be different. It has to be real. I don't accept half versions anymore." She stepped up. They had deep, raw conversations. They saw a counselor. And now, not only are they stronger, they say the breakup was the greatest gift. Why? Because he led the reconnection like a man, with strength, clarity, and standards. Chapter 4. Core Teachings. Your ultimate decision must be rooted in self-awareness, not emotional longing. Reconnection must be led by your frame and your standards. Detachment is not rejection, it's wisdom. Walk away with grace if needed. You either build a new bond with depth or release the past with dignity. Either path is a win if it's chosen with power, not panic. Drop a comment below. Peace over history. Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where enduring wisdom meets the strength of presence, and where we uncover the truths modern society refuses to teach men. If you found value in this journey, and like, share, and subscribe to help us awaken more grounded, disciplined, and powerful men. And don't forget, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice sharpens the wisdom of this brotherhood. Until next time. Stand tall, respond wisely, live with power.